Hello, my friends. How are you today? Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing well. I am finishing up here in the studio for the day, and I would just come live. I have been just kind of painting today, kind of just painting for myself a little bit today, just because I guess, just because I haven't done that in a while. I've been busy with work and sales, and last week we had our anniversary and all that. So I'm just kind of giving myself permission to work on a little paint, and you can see where I'm at right now. This is an intuitive style painting, and I actually started this on Tuesday when I was live inside my Creators Club. And I've worked on it a little bit since then, but I thought I would come and just kind of show you where I'm at with it and kind of just kind of talk to you a little bit about the intuitive art process. And then I thought I would just paint and let you guys watch. So if you are brand new here to my YouTube channel, please say hello, especially if you're new, because I like to kind of give you a shout out to all the new people. And if you enjoy watching art, if you enjoy watching DIY projects, painting projects, anything from furniture to art, all of that, then you're going to want to make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you say hello, and I will see if I can see all of your comments. Hello, Carol. Carol, I think I have something for you. I do. I have paint I'm going to be sending you because you were my winner last week. So if you've not received your gift yet, those of you that won things, I'm going to try to get that sent out either tomorrow or Monday at the latest on the gifting part. Okay, some of you I sent out today. But anyway, so intuitive art is what I've been working on today. I'm trying to look at my other brush, and I am using. I'm going to get ready actually to use my brush from the Turquoise Iris. This is the Edge. This is from Dion, the Turquoise Iris. And I'm going to do just a little bit of just kind of making some marks right now. Just using the tip of that brush. This painting is pretty much a variation of different paints that I'm using. Hello, Trina. You know, I need to, bravery, you know what? It just takes doing it. Can I just tell you? Because, I mean, honestly, just start painting. And the best way to kind of get through this process is just by doing it more often, okay? And then once you start, because we all have that mean voice inside us, right? That tells us that we can't do something or we shouldn't be doing something. So that's the part that you have to kind of work through. Maybe I should come live. Would you all like to do like an intuitive painting together sometime? Hello, Tara from Newark. Been watched everything. Tried to order paint from your page and some. Okay, well, here you go. Not treat. Let's see. That's Tara. Tara, last night before I left, I just got new shipment in, and it is now on my website. So if you check out girlupcycledstudio.com and you go to where it says DIY paint, everything is in except for, well, the white Salvation Solution is gone. I do have one clear left, but I am all stocked up on Pennies from Heaven. So if you look at this painting, you'll see some of the Well, on camera, it's looking like it's orange, but it's actually copper, and it's actually metallic shine shimmer. You can find plenty of that. I ordered like 3 batches of it, so I am completely stocked up because I am not running out of that. Hello, Sue and Karen, how are you? So everything should be there. And I wanted to tell you guys to make sure you're going through my website when you're ordering. I was talking to someone today that said they were having trouble ordering multiples, but they were ordering through my Facebook page, not my website. You want to make sure you go through my website to get that, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of doing a little bit of mark making. And getting some different textures and marks on there. I'm not too sure yet what this will be. We have a lot of fun in the Creators Club when we do the intuitive art, and a lot of people see different things. So earlier I was looking at this and I was able to kind of make out a face, and I was seeing 2 eyes here and lips and all this hair, but I can't really see it now. So it's kind of fun to kind of see what everybody sees. Trina says she can see the copper. Awesome. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's some good stuff, I tell ya. All right, I think that's enough of that. So I meant to come on here, and I really had the best intentions to actually come on here and do a, like a DIY and work you through all the stages. But, as an artist, there's just times when you really just need to create for the sake of creating. And I thought, it's be nice just to give you guys a little window to peek through and watch if you want to. Sometimes I get a little quiet. I was talking with a friend about, I need to go live more. And I was like, gosh, sometimes when I'm painting, because when I'm painting in the studio here, like I said, I get a little bit quiet. And she said, why don't you just go live and paint and not focus on talking so much? And that would allow me to really get in that zone, because especially when I'm painting in this style, I kind of get quiet and kind of get lost. So I may do that sometime with you if y'all don't mind. I know I always feel like I'm being a little rude if I'm not speaking when I'm live. So maybe we'll give that a try and see if you all would like to just kind of go on that little creative journey. Just watch. I'm not sure what I'll call it. I might start doing that once a week. I've been talking about that. ASMR painting is relaxing. Is that what that's called? I don't know, but that is all I know. Is I just sometimes just need to come on here and paint, and I would love for y'all to hang out and watch if you'd like to, but I also don't want to upset anyone. But you can't please them all the time though, right? So with the intuitive painting gang, you don't always have a just a cohesive thing in your mind that you're trying to achieve. Okay, that comes later, and sometimes it doesn't come at all. Sometimes you're just going with a abstract, and that's okay too. There's many times that I start to see something in my paintings, and then I let them come out. I find that prayer helps. Praying a lot before you come to the easel and start kind of just helps clear your mind a little bit and just kind of lets things happen. Paint over here on the sides. I'm loving so far the colors, all the variations right now that I've been doing. I'm using a mix right now of DIY paint. I have Hey Sailor and Liquid Sunshine on here. I have copper pennies from heaven on here. Let's shake things up a little bit. And then I also have some of my acrylic paints. I am using golden fluid acrylics right now with this. And I'm also incorporating that. So, yes. How are you, Jude? Yeah. So exactly, Trina. I really was calling this prioritized painting. I have been getting, when you hear like, do you guys do this? I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes I'll get either images that pop in my head or I just feel like that's how God talks to me. That's how because I'm visual. I'm a visual person. And so God talks to me like that and gives me nudges that way. And so I've had various things in my life when things have popped into my mind that were, that's not my thought, but it's, God's thought. So, and that's the word that keeps coming out is prioritized. And I'm like, I'm praying. I don't know I am praying. It's like me, but I pray all the time. What's this mean? So, but I think it has to do with the intuitive art process that I've been doing. And so I'm kind of like, feeling like I have to use that word in association with the style of intuitive art that I am doing. Because it is a lot of prayer goes into this before and during, sometimes after. If I'm not able to really get it to come together, or, it's when it's really good to just kind of take it to prayer. And sometimes it's just a matter of taking it to prayer to where you stop focusing on it so much, right? If that makes sense. This is quinacridone magenta right now that I'm using from the golden fluid. And I'm using that right over top of the Hey Sailor. I also have used my little box of oil pastels. So what I do is I kind of work in layers as I work on the intuitive painting. And then as I come back and my canvas is nice and dry, because that's when you want to work on with oil pastels. If you're not real sure what oil pastels are, these are oil pastels. They kind of look like little crayons almost. They're very vibrant. And they are great for mark making. You can color in shades. It's just very vibrant. I also have the just water-based ones as well, so you don't have to get the oil. So they come in different styles. For this, I like to use the oil. Because you can't really, the other ones are kind of like, they're chalky. So when you go to paint over it or you go to seal it, it's going to smear on you. So you kind of want to be careful when you use those. You would want to use some kind of spray sealer. Very, very vibrant. I don't know if you can see very well, but vibrant. Is anybody able to make out anything? I'm going to go ahead and turn it. And that's something I like to do quite often. And it kind of allows you a whole different way of seeing your artwork by turning it that way, okay? A whole different perspective. So this is intuitive painting. Are there any questions? Let me just take a quick second and let me see if there's any questions. Hi, Sharon. How are you? Thank you so much for those of you that are over on YouTube. I am so excited. I've just been more and more over here on YouTube, and I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm shiny. I'm just loving it over here. I feel like I'm starting to get to know all of you a little bit better, and it's exciting. It's a whole different crowd, and I really enjoy it. So if you are over on Facebook, and if you have not gone to my YouTube channel yet and signed up, you want to make sure you do that. Okay, let me see. Trina, she says, let's go to Jude. Jude first says, it's a pathway. Oh, I see that. So right here, this almost seems like a water, like it could be a water. And I like to, oftentimes, as I'm working on pieces like this, I really like to focus on the monitor and look at it. And if you don't have a monitor and you are not taping yourself, you can just simply get a mirror and have a mirror stand, like if you have one that stands on its own, like that you get dressed with, pull it out and have it behind you. And then while you're painting, just turn around. Like if I wasn't talking to you, I would be standing here, and sometimes I just have my phone on, and maybe I'm not recording, but I just have it on, and I'll just look at it and I'll study it and just kind of like, get a good eye view of the composition of it and how it's set up. How is everything placed? How are your colors flowing? Where do your eyes go? Do your eyes rest anywhere? Let's see, we have a question. How do you get that mean inner voice to shut up so you can move forward and paint with confidence? I was just talking to somebody about that just a little bit ago. Another new artist. I mean, he's an artist, but he's new to painting. And he asked me the same question. And I said, you paint. And when you're done painting, you paint again. And you paint. And you paint another one. Okay? So the only way to break through is to go head on with it. Go head on and just paint. you need to know that that voice, that's not really, that's not true. So ask yourself, is anything that you're hearing in your voice, is there any truth to that? Is there any truth to it? So what does that inner voice tell you? Does that inner voice tell you that you're not good enough? Is that actually true? No, that's not true at all. That's a lie. Does it say, you're not an artist because you're not so-and-so? Okay, is there any truth to this? Okay, let's see. No, I'm not that person. That part's true. But am I an artist? Am I an artist? Guess what? I have passion for this. I have passion for it, and I love it in the depths of my soul. So therefore I am, right? Just do the action of painting. Yes. Sue Hall, she takes pictures of it too. Yeah, and that's a good point too. Sue mentioned taking pictures. I do this quite often in my creators club when they get stumped with the intuitive painting. I love it when they have breakthroughs. My heart sings. I'm like dancing when they have breakthroughs, because here's the thing. Sometimes they're working on this stuff and they're like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. I can't, I really want it to be something. Because I'm like, you could just do an abstract, and I teach them how to work your colors so they're not getting muddy. And we talk about the layering and using texture and different things of that nature. But sometimes they want it to be something. They want to see something, like they want to make out a shape or make out something that's cohesive to them, right? So what I do is I take a picture of their art and I will get it on my phone. And once you get it on your phone, you can flip it all 4 ways. Or you can, back and forth and, one way to the other. So I just kind of flip it around, and then I can digitally go in and say, oh my gosh, I see let's see if I can see anything here. I almost see like a face here. I don't know if you can see it. It almost looks like a gargoyle or something with wings. It's kind of a creepy looking thing. Not something I would make happen, but sometimes we'll see, like right here. This almost looks like a dog to me. Can you guys see that? Can you see the shape? It almost looks like a dog. Right there is the head. And then he comes down, and his little bottom's there, and look, there's his legs. So that could almost be turned into a shape of an animal of some sort. So those are the kind of things that are really fun to do with the ladies there, and they have a lot of fun with the different things that we see. And we all work on each other's paintings too. As far as ideas, everybody sees something different, right? I'm gonna keep, let's see. All right. Trina sees a lake with trees in bloom. Ooh, I almost see, look right here. Do you guys see that? It looks like a dolphin to me. Look, you see the eye and the nose? Isn't that cool? It almost looks like a dolphin. So like I could totally take that, and look, his little tail could go whoop right around. How cool would that be? Can you see it? Now see, if I look straight on at the painting, I can't see that image that well, but when I look at the monitor, it pops out at me just plain as day. Okay, let's see. I popped in late. I asked about a kind of painting earlier. Is that what you mean by intuitive painting? Yes, this is intuitive painting. When you are approaching the canvas without like a thought in your head as far as like, I want to paint an owl. I want to paint a cow. I want to paint, you're going in like the splatter and chatter classes are pretty much, you know what you're doing when you go into it. You know what you're going to have when you get done. This is it's a whole other kind of beast, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really liking the whole. Does anybody else see you see water and swampy plants? Lisa, just take a break. No, just take a breath and say, not today, Satan. That's true. Not today. Oh no, not today. Hi, Judith. Catch the replay. Trina says, yes, I compare myself to others. Well, here's the thing. Nobody else is you, and you can't be anyone else. And that is the one thing that I tell people, even when we're doing our splatter and chatter classes, they're not all going to be the same. I mean, it's going to be the same kind of composition. It's going to be the same setup. It's going to be the same, visually the same picture. But even with the splatter and chatter, your style of flowers may be different than my style or another person's style. Somebody may have real big, loose, whimsical, real big flowers, and another person might have just these small, delicate little touches, very light brush strokes. All of that matters, and that's how you find your own style. And that is the importance of the intuitive artwork that I teach and that I do. I think that it really, really, I just love it. It makes me, like, I feel so good already today, just since I started painting. It just, I don't know, it just is exciting, and it just brings out kind of like what your style is. It kind of brings out like what makes you sing, what makes your soul sing, right? Does that make sense? Sounds a little weird, I know, but I don't know how else to explain it, because this style of painting is not really about a lot of explanation. I mean, I encourage each of you to give it a try. And there are many, many ways you can do it. Let's see, I can't get my can open. Let me see what I have here. Oh, for Pete's sake, here we go. I think I'm going to use a little bit of I'm going to use a little vintage linen here. This is DIY paint. This is kind of my go-to paint, even though it's typically made for furniture painting. It's beautiful paint, and it's vibrant, and it's wonderful for using with artwork. And I'm going to use a little bit of this to work into the painting, and I think I'm going to add maybe like a little drop of sailor up there. No, let's keep it with the Hey Sailor. I was going to put 57. I'm mixing that in with the vintage linen. Fill yourself with what you're passionate about. Absolutely. I love that. No structure. Let yourself go. Exactly. And that's really, really hard for a lot of people to do, to be quite honest. It's a very vulnerable feeling. when you're just starting out. I remember the first time I did this live, I had been doing it was like a closet painter painting this style, and I was afraid to tell people. I was afraid to tell anybody about this because I was afraid of, just not, let's see. Can you guys see where I'm going? Not being good enough, I guess. We all kind of have that. Is my store open? If so, what date? Well, I mean, not officially, but I've been doing curbside. So you can come to the curb or just come and pop into the hallway door and pop your head in and let me know what you need. So I can do it that way. And I've also been doing online, lots of online sales and shipping out. You guys, I need to grab my water. Over here. So yeah, if you need anything, just let me know what you need. Is there something in particular, Tara? Yeah, I can't stop seeing the dolphin. That's what I'm going to try to edge out here. Okay, so right now I'm using a color that is Hey Sailor. And the problem is I can't see it until I look at the, almost like I need to look at there we go. I need to look at the monitor while I paint, which is weird. You know what I could do is turn my phone on so I can see it a little bit closer. Where is my phone? Yeah, I'm thinking about trying to pull this dolphin out. That could be kind of interesting, right? That's what I'm thinking. See what it looks like on the YouTubes. Are there any other questions? Thank you so much. I needed to hear that. That's right. Hey, Christine from the UK. Thank you so much for being here. I missed some questions. Okay, I think I got them all. Will be my very first DIY purchase, and I will need help picking. I've saved and saved. Well, I'm happy to help you, Tara. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. And like I said, you can kind of like seriously just you can mix it with anything. Okay, let me get this here so I can. Here we go. There's a little bit of a delay, so we'll have to see like. It'd be kind of fun. I really painted a dolphin before. Love dolphins though. Anybody remember when they were kids? There was a book called Island of the Blue Dolphins. Do y'all remember that book? I can't really remember what it's about though. Isn't that sad? But I remember that I love that book and I remember reading it and I remember having it. But I mean, other than it's about a girl and a dolphin, but I don't know. I can't even remember. Is that starting to bring it out a little bit? I don't know proportionate if it's spot on or not because I haven't actually looked at a dolphin for like forever. So I may have to kind of, and that's something that I do as well. If I do start to see something like I'm seeing kind of a dolphin, I will look up a reference sometimes just to make sure that I've got the proportions all correct. Because I don't, I mean, how many times do we look at a dolphin? I mean, I don't always look at them that much. So. And sometimes I do this and I'll work on it and I'll work on it. And then when it's all said and done, I end up changing it sometimes. So it's very it's very up to you and how you're feeling in the moment. Because right now I'm having fun and it feels good. But if it starts to go to a place where I'm not loving it. So what I tell the girls, and I've heard this from some other artists too, mention about not getting too attached to things, right? Don't get too attached. Don't be afraid to make changes. I was telling the ladies in my group, sometimes you might like something, but if you get that push and that urge to keep going and make changes and do something else, sometimes you have to let go of something that you kind of liked to make room for something you love to really grow. And that's very, very, that's true in life in general. Oh, thanks, Trina. Now I can see where the nose and eyes would be. Yep. Thanks, Jude. Let's see. Definitely coming alive. Let's see. You'll be happy with. Okay, so. All right. Oops. Goodness sakes. That could have been bad, huh? Very well could have been bad. Really need this in front of me so I can kind of see. Not sure how far around to go. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you. Allow yourself to grow, evolve, change with painting and in life. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. I don't know. How's the proportions going? Kind of liking it though. I might end up keeping it like this, guys. I feel like I need to, let's pull up dolphins. Again, I am using the color Vintage Linen with just a little touch of Hey Sailor mixed in. This nose needs to be changed a little bit. This is nose just a little bit too. Too much. So it's kind of fun, the experience and the journey when you're painting this way, because you enter into this with complete, you're kind of blindly going in. You know what I'm saying? You're just blindly going. You don't know what you're going to end up with. I mean, it's an adventure. That's why I like it. Even if I don't sometimes I feel like I want to be done with a piece, and maybe I don't necessarily love it. When I'm done with it, it's that the feeling that I had while I was painting it and while I was in that mode is very, very rewarding. And canvas can be painted over, gang. Okay. I do tell the ladies in my group to keep one on hand even when you're starting another one. So maybe you have one where you're just throwing paint and you're going wild. Have that there, and you're always working on it, or you're always like, if you just need to like loosen up, use that other canvas for that. Thank you so much for the hearts and the likes and all the love. Appreciate that. But have a couple going at one time. I hope you guys can see it as I'm outlining it. So what I'm doing now as I call it editing. I'm editing this out a little bit. And that's when I do find something that I want to hone in on, which we figured out is this guy here. I want to hone in on his shape. So I'm kind of just editing everything around it. So that I can kind of see my shape that I'm working on. Let's see, I'm not sure how his belly goes. This may even need to be shortened or reworked shape-wise. Hi, Karen. How are you? Hi, Stacy. Elisa's in the house. Trina says, I like that, not having a plan. Trina is asking, how do you first begin an intuitive painting? Do you just start applying paint randomly? Yes, you do. So you get it for beginners. I usually give them a little bit of direction on colors, color theory a little bit. So a lot of times if I just, as a beginner, if I just tell you to pick colors that mix well together, right? So all your warm colors. So let's say you want to start with warm colors. So you will only start with, your reds, your pinks, your warmer oranges, colors like that for that first layer so that you don't get mud. And sometimes I tell people, if you're curious as to, because people are like, what do you mean by muddy? If they're brand new, maybe they don't know. And the best way to learn is create some mud. So you can actually just get in there and create, make it a little muddy, and then I'll teach you how to clean it up a little bit. So we can always cover right over that. But that's always, there's no shame in trying that on purpose so that you know exactly when you're mixing the warm colors with the cool colors together, you're going to get mud. You're going to get, really muddy grays. And what that means is you're not going to have that vibrancy. So like if you have, maybe you're kind of getting the color that you wanted, but it doesn't have that little punch of color that it should. Thanks, Paula. Awesome, Trina. She says, you taught me some very beneficial things tonight. Thank you. I will be starting an intuitive painting tomorrow. Yay, girl. I am so proud of you. Hi, Laura. Interesting painting with beautiful colors. Can't wait to see the finished piece. So yeah, I think we're coming up with a little bit of a dolphin kind of a thingy here going on. Hi, Karen. Stacy. I think I missed a question. Warms and cools, yes. So when you, yes, I can give you a close-up. When you first start a painting and you walk up to that blank canvas, sometimes for beginners, that's the scariest part. So I just say, walk up to the painting. Do not think about it. Where do you want to go to first? Where do you gravitate towards? Where you go? Are you wanting to grab that real bright turquoise? Grab it. So that first initial feeling of gravitation towards a color, that is kind of what's going to make the rest of it flow. That's how you get started. So think of one step at a time. Don't think too far ahead, because you'll get discouraged. You just think right now, okay, what's really catching my eye? Ooh, that orange. I want to use that orange. Or, ooh, whatever, the turquoise. I'm a blue girl. I usually go for blues. So it was strange to me on this one that I gravitated towards yellows when I started this painting out. That's not what I would normally do. And I've been really gravitating towards yellows lately, which is really strange. So this is kind of where I'm at so far. You can really see that the copper just popping. Can you see that copper? And you're able to see some of the mark making that I made when you get closer, which is going to be really interesting. Right? Look at that. I guess we could turn it into a mermaid if we wanted, but it really did look like a dolphin head there, didn't it? So sometimes I like what I see. Sometimes I like what the painting brings out on its own. Sometimes it just becomes sometimes what it wants. Thank you, Trina and Stacy. Yes, so your first step is to grab whatever you're drawn to. So if you go towards a warm tone, if you go towards a red, then you want to stay on all kind of your warmer colors. You can do different variations. You can do colors that mix well with it, that complement it. And when you blend it, you know that it's not going to turn muddy. It's going to turn actually into a specific color. So does that make sense? It's the whole, if you have like a blue and you mix yellow, it's going to make a green, right? So that sort of thing. Looks like a magical forest. Thank you, Judith. Trina says, yes, it's really scary looking at a blank canvas. Okay, so I'm going to paint just for a little bit longer. It looks like I'm running on 54 minutes. I'm trying to keep it, to an hour when I'm just on here, but I am going to try to do regular, just popping on here, just painting my artwork. I need to continue to produce pieces. I have pieces that I need to finish that people are wanting to actually buy, and I need to I don't know if y'all remember my owl with the girl. I need to get eyeballs on her. I have a client that has been asking about her for a long time. I really need to get her done. So I'm just going to start coming in and just painting live randomly. And then I'm also going to be doing the DIY stuff where I'm showing you a start to finish, you know, my DIY stuff as well. But I do want to include my own artwork in on this little journey that we're on too, so that you can kind of learn from that. Hopefully I'll encourage some of you. Love the owl piece. Awesome. Do you let each layer dry? I do if they're going to get muddy. And then when I come back to this and it's dry, if I want to do some mark making with the oil pastels, you can go back in. You start with your oil pastels and then you can do your painting when that's done. And I am making sure that I'm painting everything. Let's do something here. Let's do a little something. Let me see if I can find my little, hold on, this might be fun. My little bottles, if I can find my bottles. That's the bad thing if I get ideas when I'm live. Now we're lucky. I just found some paint already mixed up in a little bottle. This is a spray bottle. And I've got a little bit of, I'm not sure if it's vintage linen or it might be beadboard, I'm not sure. But what I want to do, I'm going to try one of these little droppers. Let's just do. I don't know if it's showing up. I might need to mix something that's a little bit stronger in color. It's not really doing what I wanted it to do. It's a little bit too runny. Let me try. Let's try something else. I don't think y'all can see too well. Thank you, Trina. And you just try it on your own, and it'll really come to you. I promise it will. This is a little more pigmented, so this might. There we go. It's a little bit better. I'm just creating a little bit of movement. So it's just fun. I just picked up these little tools and just try little things. This comes in a little dropper bottle. It's just a lot of fun to work with different tools, and makeup tools. You can get tools out of your own kitchen for that matter. I always like to encourage people to use what you have, and then add to your collection as you can afford it and as you feel the need to, okay? I never want you to feel like you got to run out and get all the things that you see me using. That's probably showing up a little bit better, isn't it? Darkly. Use what you have, especially those of you that we're in quarantine right now. And see what you can find at home to get different textures. Obviously, you do need paint, though. It does add another dimension. It does. I need to probably mix more up. I'm not getting a lot out of here. But just some ideas for you. And you can use this just to even just drip. Let's see. If you don't like it, you paint over it, right? We do not get hung up on things. We just kind of make the move and let it do its thing, see what happens. If you're not sure of it, I always recommend taking a little break. You want to walk away for a little bit, come back the next day. Sometimes when I walk in from being away from a painting, even overnight, I'll walk in and I'll immediately see something that needs change or something that I want to do. So that is really, really helpful to do. So any other questions? I will begin painting with cheap craft paint. That works too. So do what you can. I know we're in a difficult situation right now where we can't always get out, or maybe some of us are not working. But I'm here for you when you do need me, and I do sell the paint. So everything can be found at girlupcycledstudio.com. You can look under where it says paint, and you'll find all of the DIY paint there. Those are all the products that I use. And then you'll also find all of the IOD products on my site too. I know I did a demo with that the other day. You guys, I want to show you the finished, this is from the other day. I added daisies to that. I know I left you guys without knowing if I was going to use white on it or not. So I turned all the yellow flowers into daisies. So I wanted to show you that before I left, and that'll be on my next flash sale. Thank you so much. Make sure if you really, really enjoy and you're passionate about art and DIY products and projects, you want to make sure that you hit the subscribe button for me and hit that little notification button. And you'll be notified whenever I put a new video out, okay? Thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out with me. And I will talk to you guys really soon, all right? Bye, everyone. Good night.